We'll go to possible conflict between macroeconomic aims. We already know what macroeconomic aims are. We're talking about low unemployment rate, stable price stability, which is reduction of inflation, economic growth, and what else do we talk about? Reducing the income inequality. That means reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. So what are the conflicts? When government is trying to achieve one aim, it might result to creating another problem. Opportunity cost. Yeah, opportunity cost, government failure. Yes. So let's see what they said. They said there's a risk. There's the risk that full employment may conflict with stable prices. When there's a low level of unemployment, it will be difficult to increase output to match increase in aggregate demand. In this case, higher aggregate demand is likely to lead to higher prices. A low level of unemployment is likely to push up wages as firms compete for workers. The resulting higher cost of production are likely to result into inflation. So when there is full employment, it means almost everybody has a job. So if everybody has job, it would affect prices because demand in the economy would increase. So if there's no level of unemployment, they say it will be difficult to increase output. So if the level of unemployment, if there is low unemployment rate, that means everybody has a job. It will be difficult for firms to increase their output because no one to help them to increase their output. Do you get the point or not? No. If there is low level of unemployment, that means if unemployment is zero, like there's no unemployment rate, that means everyone is fully employed. Yes. If everyone is fully employed, it will be difficult for firms to increase their output. Do you know why? Because they won't have people to employ to increase their output.
They're all employed.
They are all employed.
That's why they can't be zero. Can't be zero.
What we are talking about here is conflicts.
Yes.
When you're talking about conflict, we're talking about situations that would lead to government failure. Do you know what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Situations that will lead to government failure will be as a result of conflict in the macroeconomic aims. We said government wants to ensure that there is full employment. So if there's full employment in the economy, what happens? It becomes difficult for firms to increase their output. Why? Because the demand for labor would increase.
That's fair enough.
There won't be supply of labor because everybody has jobs. So what happens? Cost of wages will increase. So to attract workers, you have to increase wage rates. So increasing wage rates will result to what? Increased cost of production. So increasing the cost of production would lead to prices to increase. Inflation would come. At the end of it, the market failure.
Yes.
Do you see how government is trying to intervene? How government is coming up with a policy that is becoming that leads to another problem. So full employment would not help an economy because full employment would increase aggregate demand in the economy. And if aggregate demand increases in the economy, firms will not have workers to increase their output. We said demand for labor is a derived demand. Now there's derived demand. Yes, there is possibility to increase. There's incentive to increase output. But where are the workers to use to increase this output? There are no workers because everybody has job. So as a result of that, firms might have to increase wages. So increasing wages will increase the cost of production. So increasing cost of production would lead to cost push inflation. So full employment will lead to inflation.
Demand pull inflation. Right?
Cost push. Demand pull.
Yes.
Do you get it? So that is the point they are making here. So full employment and economic growth. We've talked about full employment and stable prices. When there's full employment, there will be what? There will be inflation. Based on the fact that firms will not be able to increase their output. They have to increase wages. Yes. Increasing wages leads to increase in cost of production.
Total cost.
Cost of production, yeah.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Now I'll go to full employment and economic growth. They said full employment and economic growth may conflict with balance of payment stability. Producing a higher output may be partly the result of higher exports. The resulting rise in employment is likely to increase incomes, however, and spending on imports may increase by more than export revenue. To produce a higher output, firm might need firms may also import more imported raw materials and capital goods. So look at how full employment would become a problem when we're talking about economic growth. With full employment, the income level would increase. That means importation might increase in that economy. So because everybody has money, so they might start thinking about importing goods. Yes or no?
Yes.
So importation increases in the economy, which might increase more than export, leading to a deficit of the balance of payments. That is the first point there. The second point made here is that as importation increases, prices of importation might rise. Do you get the point?
Yes, because the demand is more.
The demand is increasing.
Yes.
So the demand, as a result of that, economy is growing, output is increasing, but the output that is increasing, they might need to import raw materials.
So more firms will go to that industry. But
more firms would need to import raw materials.
Yes.
To meet the demand in the economy. This would increase the price of importation. So leading to cost push inflation.
So in both, it will increase the price.
It will increase. So to produce higher output, firms might need to import more raw materials. So they have to import more raw materials. They have to import capital goods. These are high costs of production. This will also lead to an increase in price. Inflation also. Yeah. So what is the priority of government? They said if the end appears to conflict, a government may have to decide between, for instance, reducing inflation and reducing unemployment. Its choice will be influenced by the relative scale of problem, the consequences of the problem, and which problem the country's citizens are most concerned about. So there will be trade-off here. There will be opportunity cost. So if increasing employment would lead to inflation, inflation would lead to inflation, and would also lead to balance of payment deficit. So it is for government to decide. So government might choose or might decide on reducing employment rates.
Yes.
To lower inflation. So, but before government takes decision, government will check what the citizens are mostly concerned about.
So they will decrease their employment.
The lay off workers.
They sack.
Yeah, the lay off workers.
Yeah. But that will be in the public sector only, I think.
Yes, in the public sector. And also it's going to affect the private sector. It's going to affect everybody.
Yes, because they will need to have jobs and then, yeah.
Do you get the point? So government would decide based on what is more important for the citizens.
Trade union will be an activity like
they will industrial action.
Yes, are they going to be in action? Trade union.
Yeah, but if government is able to justify this situation, it will be fine with them.
Trade union.
I think it's clear.
Yes.
So that is government. So we go to the questions.
Yes.
They said, which of the following is the macroeconomic aim of the government?
Macroeconomic.
Macroeconomic aim of the government.
Price stability. And
price stability. Yes, that's just it.
Not high employment.
Unemployment is price stability.
Price stability.
The second question. A country has a population of 120 million and the labor force of 50 million, of which 6 million of its labor force are unemployed. What is the unemployment rate?
120. Let's say, what's the formula? I think it's
for unemployment rate.
Unemployment rate.
The number of unemployed divided by the labor force multiplied by 100.
What did you say?
Number of unemployed.
Unemployed.
Divided by the labor force multiplied by 100.
So 6 over 50.
6 over 50 multiplied by 100.
I need to memorize it. Cool.
D.
Yeah.
Question 3. It said, which of the following could increase a country's productive potential?
Productive potential. Education, reduction. Improvement in education.
An improvement in education, yes, is A. Question 4. What is meant by potential economic growth?
Potential.
Yeah.
C.
No.
V.
No.
None of them.
The economy is operating at a full employment. That means all resources are fully utilized. Actual economic growth.
Yeah.
Actual economic growth is when the economy is producing, but it can reach its potential when it's operating at a full employment. That means all the factors of production are fully employed. That is full employment.
Yes, yes.
So the answer is D. Are they clear?
Yes.
So that's the end of that chapter.
Because I was thinking, like, if they grow, that's why it exports revenue.
No.
That's why.